So, I'm a Volkswagen guy. That means I'm cheap. I've been building an air ride system for the front beam of my link pin 1961 Volkswagen Beetle. And instead of using really high dollar air struts, I'm using Monroe air shocks. It's pretty common. They're inexpensive. I think you can get a set for like 80 bucks. The problem we've got is these stinking air shocks have got a strange proprietary nipple on them that's really only compatible with their cheesy little 1/8 inch airlines and little plastic fittings. We want to upgrade to a larger 1/4 inch line, which is more compatible with the air tanks and compressors that people are using for air ride systems. So today I'm going to show you how to create a fitting to go over that bizarre nipple on your Monroe air shocks without spending a fortune. So these are the teeny tiny horrible little airlines that come with the Monroe air shocks. They're minuscule, they're tiny. All the fittings that come with this, they're little cheap plastic tiny things. There's weird little O-rings that seal into the nipple, and I guess it's sufficient if you're not going to be changing your air very often, or it's not critical that you don't have any leaks. But this is pathetic. It takes forever to fill, and we're getting rid of it. We're using this. This is kind of the standard 1/4 inch airline that people normally use for air ride systems. Nice, heavy duty, industry standard airline. So we have to convert those bizarre little nipples into something that we can install these type of press-on air fittings. These are very standard, they're common. Everybody uses them for their air systems. And the problem we have is those crazy nipples that are on the Monroe air shocks are a proprietary 7/16 20 thread. And nothing you can get at an ordinary hardware store really matches up very well. But what we can do is we can buy a bushing from Ace Hardware. Now, this bushing has an 1/8 inch standard thread. So these airline fittings fit right in. And these threads, they don't matter at all because we're going to be threading the inside of this fitting to our bizarre 7/16 20. Now, the way that we do that is we purchase a 7/16 20 tap along with a drill bit that comes with that 7/16 tap. It's slightly larger than a 3/8. I think it's a 25/64, which is another odd size, but you can get them as a set. I'll put a link in this video to show you what to order. And we're going to be tapping the inside of this fitting. Well, here we are on my extremely messy workbench. We're going to be using a simple drill press, which is old and rickety, and it's holding on by the skin of its teeth. We're going to first use a 3/8 inch drill bit to drive a pilot hole in the bottom of our fitting. We're going to follow it up with the 25/64 size they want to run the tap through it, and then we're going to tap it. You don't want to go all the way through. You need to stop at least 1/8 of an inch of the of hitting the bottom, or you'll drill out the threads for the other end, and we don't want to do that. Now, I know that there's actual machinists out there that are cringing watching me do this. I'm probably doing many things wrong, but I'm a hobbyist, and this is just a hobby. So I know you're going to say this is not the way you use a tap, but it's going to work. It holds my tap nice and straight. I keep the platform loose so it can be drawn in and drawn out without fighting it. And I have a lot of trouble doing this by hand. I tend to have trouble getting the tap to start nice and straight. All right, so I know there's actual machinists out there that are literally cringing watching me do this, but I've got a threaded hole. It's 7/16 20, and it's going to fit fine on that air fitting. We'll be using Teflon tape to help seal it in case there's any flaws in the threads, and it should do a better job of the monkey business I've got going on down there now. All right, let's have a little conversation about nipples. No, not those nipples. These nipples. This is the air fitting that comes in these Monroe air shocks. You'll see they're threaded. And then after that thread, there was about 1/8 of an inch of just smooth barrel that is simply in the way for what we're doing. It has something to do with the way their proprietary airlines fit, and they don't do anything for us. So I cut the smooth part of the nipple off, leaving just the threads, and you need to make sure you clean up the edge afterwards so the things thread on neatly. And now I'm going to show you that our newly created threads fit directly onto that nipple and screw right on down. About 1.5 ugga-duggas on my calibrated torque arm. I went back to each connection after I'd tightened them down, and I used soapy water to look for leaks. I pressured it up to about 120. I did find one fitting that was leaking. It just needed to be tightened up. I know there's a dozen ways to skin this cat, and I tried a couple of them that had been suggested to me, and they didn't work very well. I'll let you know if this continues to be a good idea. If you've got any questions about the air ride system I've built, you can drop me a line in the comments. And I appreciate you watching my channel. I hope you like and subscribe. And I'll be back with more of my pearls of wisdom for the Volkswagen machine.